From Brooks Broadcasting Studio 24 in California, the entertainment capital of the world, featuring Dr. Dwight Rogers and Tony G. It's the Education Talk Show with Jeremy Brooks, Weekly Recess. And now, your host, Jeremy Brooks.
Welcome to the Education Talk Show with Jeremy Brooks, Weekly Recess. We are so excited for you to be joining us tonight. We are live in Studio 24, and we've got an incredible show lined up for you. Of course, we are joined by our incredible team, our cast, our senior education contributors, and we're going to go ahead and start over here with Dr. Rogers. We got Dr. Rogers, our senior education contributor.
Good evening, everyone. Happy holidays to everyone. Dr. Rogers here. Just to give you a little background about myself. Have a book, Change the Narrative. Don't let the narrative change you. Originally from Brooklyn, New York. Again, working here with Jeremy. This is our 15th episode. I'm a director, former principal, assistant principal, educator for over 30 years, doing this work that we do. Glad to have you in our home today.
Awesome. Thank you, Dr. Rogers. And, of course, we got the always hilarious, our resident comedian, senior education contributor, Tony G.
I'm just going to play it cool, Jeremy. I got my cool jacket.
I like that jacket.
Thank you. It's cool. And that's what, I don't know. I'm feeling it right now, though. It's been a good week. I'm glad I'm back. Comedy. It's been great, and I'm excited. We got a guest, so I'm pumped. Let's do it.
Awesome. All right. And we are very excited. We've got a special guest in the studio tonight. He's an author. He's also I don't want to mess this up, so I'm gonna just read it real quick.
You can roll with it however you want.
He sitting right from the Josh Mooring. Do you want to? How about you go ahead? They're telling me in the back. Let him do it.
Thanks, Jeremy. Pleasure to be here first, and I really appreciate when you asked me to be here. My day job, I'm Associate Vice Chancellor Strategic Communications at UC Merced.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so my career's been in communications, worked in higher ed for a long time, and what I try and do is help people understand what they need to understand. Right. Yeah.
All right, and of course you're an author, though.
We've got that piece, and that's why I'm here. And actually, I'm looking across right now at that other book and thinking I need to add more to mine.
I looked at yours. Hey, ready. I'm ready. I'm ready
to go. Most recent book just came out just a few weeks ago, Crisis Communications in Higher Education.
Talk to us about it. What's in it?
Well, and here's what we're going to do. We'll let it tell us about the book, just the title, and then we're going to move on, and then we'll come back. We're going to come back around.
You got to plug it, Josh.
You got to plug the book.
It's a trusted, timely, accurate approach for success.
Okay.
There we go.
You
Beautiful
have to break that
cover
down later on, because I want to know what that's.
We're bringing it all.
Okay.
I got you.
Yeah, I love the cover, by the way. And again, we are going to come back. But first, I just want to talk to you guys. Like, how's your week been going? What have we been up to lately? Tony G, comedy?
Yes,
You're doing some
I've
comedy?
been doing a lot of comedy, and just got some potential talks for some. I'm going to shoot like an entire production with I can't even name the comics yet because it's hush hush, but it's going to be a nice step in not only my career but a few other comics careers. So that's exciting. Going good. And again, it's the holidays, guys. Come on, I'm happy.
Awesome. All right, very exciting. Good stuff. Dr. Rogers?
I have to agree with Tony. It's the holidays, We talked about the holiday blues before, about how people have this seasonal depression because of what's going on. But the flip side of that is to be grateful for all of the wonderful things that's going on. Being able to look and see that life offers you so many opportunities to just start over. So at the end of the year, maybe at the end, we could talk about our New Year's resolutions. But it's been a great week. I wanted to give a special shout out. I have my supervisor at Stockton Unified, Dr. Susana Ramirez. It's her birthday today. We've been celebrating her birthday. She's a wonderful, extraordinary supervisor, and I just want to say, hey, happy birthday to you. All right.
Happy birthday. All right, and I think I got to work with her a little bit a while back.
Absolutely.
She's part of AXA.
When I brought her up to you, when I brought her up, I said, when I brought you up to her, she said, I think I remember him. And then I showed the picture. She remembers you.
That's right. That's right. She's incredible.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is.
I did a long car ride with her to a country club for a big meeting years ago, and I really enjoyed connecting with her.
Yeah,
and,
so I will let her know that you said hello.
Small world.
Small world.
Yeah. All right. And then, Josh, how's your week going? Like, what's been up?
Yeah. One of the things I love about higher education is there's a cadence to it.
Right.
You know, each year, you've got your beginning of the semester, you've got your end of the semester, you're going to ramp up the beginning, you're going to get busy again at the end. We've got a fall commencement coming up next weekend.
Nice.
So there's that feeling, that expectation that comes with that. So, we're at the end of the year and we're in the holiday season. So we've got that sitting there. And at the same time, we've got all this excitement on campus about the people who are graduating mid-year. So there's just a good feeling everywhere around. And
I love that.
you get excited no matter how much work there is. It's like, yeah, that's cool. Because you see how excited they are and you're able to help them celebrate.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. I'll share a little bit. We've got a second puppy. We knew we were going to do two.
There we
We
go.
knew we were going to
Can't go wrong with a puppy.
You can't go wrong with puppies. And they make you happy. You love seeing them. They're, excited to see you. But gosh, we've been losing a lot of sleep. They keep us up. So
Very
I've got
needy.
some extra strong stuff in this cup tonight to keep me awake. But it's been fun. Yeah.
Puppy's name?
We got two. So one of them, we picked him up on the birthday of Mickey Mouse being released. And my wife is a huge Disney fan. And so it was only, natural that we named him Mickey. So
Nice.
yeah, we got Mickey.
Nice.
And then
Wouldn't Pluto have been more natural?
yeah, it could have been. Yeah, that's
I'm
true.
kidding.
But we also have another dog, and he's a dachshund. We just picked him up. And he is 8 weeks old. He is tiny. I mean, he is just a little guy.
Okay.
But he's a lot of fun. And we named him Zero after the Disney movie Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, okay.
There's a Zero, like a ghost dachshund in there. So we named our puppy after a ghost.
Okay. Well, congratulations.
See where you're going there.
Yeah. So it's been awesome.
Never
And
heard
then-
of no dog named Zero before. That's the first.
Yeah, yeah.
I named my pug Dolly after Dolly Parton. But, that's some, I got to start thinking now. My next pug.
That's some next level
I-
dog
Dolly.
naming.
Now I got to stick with the next thing, So Dolly Parton. Do we go with Taylor? No,
we're
I
not
don't
doing
like
that.
that.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
We'll circle back to this.
Sounds good. And then the other exciting thing, Dr. Rogers has known about this, but I don't want to release the full details about it, but there's a book coming out
Right.
this weekend. Should be Saturday, it might be released. And I'm going to be featured in a book. So
Right.
that'll be cool.
Another
Nice.
congratulations. Big
Yeah.
stuff for you.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you're going to be in another book because you wrote a quote. So that's cool. And we'll share more details about that after it's released. And in January, we'll have more details about it. So
It's going to be good. Hey,
Let me know if you
I'm
want to
look-
do a book signing. I can open up for you guys. Do 5 just to get it started.
I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to reading it.
yeah, me too. I can't wait to see it too
Right.
as well. So that's going to be fun. But hey, we are a live show. So if you're at home, make sure to reach out and comment. And the comments are already rolling in. We got Dr. Rob is watching the show.
Hey,
And
Dr. Rob.
he says, Merry Christmas. So Merry Christmas, Dr.
Well,
Rob.
now that he's listened, I could say this. This is a true story. So I had to take the trash out, right? And it was I got home from had a good night at the puppy, right? And I'm feeling good. And so I got in my bed gear, right? And so I'm in bed and I'm looking, oh God, I didn't take the trash out. And I got a little lazy. Is it really that bad? And then I see resiliency book on the
Oh.
and I look, I gotta be resilient. So Dr. Rob, you got me out of bed. I took the trash out.
Look at that, Dr. Rob. You're making an influence already.
Changing me.
Changing them.
And by the way, we have some of Dr. Rob's stickers. I just saw them and I put them out in the studio. So what we'll do is we'll get you a few of those stickers. You can put them around the house in the key areas where you feel the most lazy.
Right.
There we go. That's every room. That's everywhere. No, I'm kidding.
Dr. Rob, we're going to need more stickers.
Yeah, a lot more.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, this is going to be a fun show tonight. We got some interesting topics. And of course, we wanted to start off at the top of the show talking to you about your incredible book that you have. And so what inspired you to write this book, and why is this book important now? Like, why now? What's going on in education?
Yeah, there's two things that inspire me to write it. One is it's the idea that if you want to do something, just do it. And I'd always wanted to be a writer. Did my first book, came out about 2 years ago, which was a nonfiction book about an escape from Folsom Prison.
Okay.
Happened in 1903. And then after I did that, I'm going to keep going. And I'd been meaning to do this for a long time because I do a lot of training and talking about crisis communications, and I'm just in crisis communications a lot. Right. And I have these things I'm always saying and these stories that I'm always sharing. And I said, I just need to write these down. So I did that. And actually I got in touch with Jeremy. I said, I'm probably going to be putting this out. And one of the reasons I got in touch with Jeremy is kind of force myself a little bit to do it. Because then it's like, all right, I got to get this out there.
Oh.
And so I did that. The other thing that was driving it was I was talking with a lot of colleagues about how they were planning for things now. And like everybody else, AI is factoring into what they're doing. And when you think about like planning for something in communications or planning anything, you know, you can put in a prompt into AI and it'll give you a plan.
Right.
The problem is that that plan doesn't bring the human, is how I think about it. You need to know what you're looking for, and you need to know how things need to work. Right. And so that's what this book is. It's to give people some ideas to bring the human when something happens. Because when something happens, anybody can type it in. What do I do when a crisis happens at a college that's like this? Right. It'll spit something out, but that's not going to tell you how to treat people.
Absolutely.
And
you know, what I really liked about what you said, you know, putting the humanity into your work. You know, we were just having a discussion not too long ago about implementing, you know, this plan, right? And in this plan, it sounds good. It's on paper, but you can't legislate anybody's heart, right? So you have to put the humanity into it. You have to have people really having an impact and doing the work and, like you said, making those relationships and building those bonds to make it come alive. So I like what you said, so thank you for that.
Oh, thank you. And just a quick thing on the humanity. So I'll need to give a shout out to Lynn Medeiros. So I worked with her at Sierra College. When COVID first happened, we were one of the first colleges in California impacted. And we were actually the first to go fully virtual. And so Lynn was the one who was leading our incident command team during that. And I was doing the communication. And, you know, we all get in this room and there's like 8 of us in there. And she says, over the next couple of weeks, we're gonna have to make a lot of decisions that are gonna affect a lot of people. And I want to ask all of you to remember to do this with grace, empathy, and compassion.
Nice.
And then she went and wrote that up on the board at the front of the room. And that just stuck with me. Because like we were making hard decisions. I mean, people's jobs are changing, their lives were changing. And just, we kept coming back to that humanity, like you talked about, made it all work. So
We have a special audience member that's watching at home named Lucy, and she says, "Hi, Dad."
That's cool.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
So Lucy is one of my daughters. She's a senior at Sonoma State right now.
Okay.
And she's a business major. Anybody who's hiring for, a business marketing major is going to be graduating soon. Lucy's here.
Okay.
Give her a shout.
Plug, right.
Hi, Lucy.
Hi, Lucy.
Lucy in the sky.
Well, and the interesting thing too is sometimes, if you're waiting around to kind of rely on that perfect AI prompt in the middle of a crisis, right? May not get exactly what you need to be able to respond appropriately or effectively to a crisis. And there's a saying out there, I guess, in crisis communication, where if you don't have a plan, the plan, you're writing the plan, it'll something like that, right? To that effect. So the crisis will write it for you, your messaging. So
exactly.
Yeah. How important is it to read a book like this to prepare and to learn for not just K through 12, higher ed, but all organizations really, I think, can benefit from this.
Yeah, it's what you might be thinking about is that, if you don't tell the story, somebody else is going to.
Absolutely.
The story is going to get told, and information is going to be out there.
Right.
And if you're not saying what's accurate, somebody else is going to fill that vacuum, and they may be saying something that's not. And then you're playing catch up the whole time.
And one of the problems too is like with social media, right? Rumors sometimes will travel a little bit faster, than facts. And so that transparency is critical too, right?
Yeah, there's a few pieces here. Number one is that on any given day, you've got, I need another shout out somebody here, Harlan Loeb. He was head of worldwide crisis when I worked at Edelman Public Relations. Okay. And he introduced me to this concept that on any given day, an organization has a portfolio of issues. Some days, some may rise up to be more important, other days, others. But the thing is that it's very rare that something comes up that you've never thought about. Right. And so you need to be thinking about these things ahead of time, because it's going to be, let's say there's going to be a behavior issue. Behavior issue can go anywhere from, somebody being loud in class to something tragic. You can have an employee issue. An employee issue could be somebody quit to somebody stealing. All these things, it's just a scale. Right. So you shouldn't be surprised by any of them. So you need to think about, number one, what are the things that could impact us? And then number two, how serious are those? Because if you don't define what a crisis is, everything's a crisis.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I was working at a software company, and whenever anything happened, everybody'd run into the CEO's office. And, the whole leadership of the company would stop while they're trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
And it was because nobody knew, is it serious, is it not? Because they hadn't defined what a serious thing was.
Nice. I like that.
So, go ahead.
No, in the book, Critical Race Theory, it talks about life being a social concept. And what you just described, talking about how you have to define what these things are. Because we create what's normal, what's not normal, what's a crisis, what's not a crisis. And by giving it that definition, you relieve anxiety, because people can now quantify what that now means versus you're in it, and then where does your mind go? So when you can bring some relevance and a way to compartmentalize it, then you can say, okay, well, I can relax. That's not as serious as my brain knows it to be. So I thank you for that. That's great. I like that.
And as I'm looking at your necklace there right now. So
my belt, my light.
You're lighting it up. But the thing is that the exact thing right there is what you just described, is because what I have in the book is one of the helpful tools to use is to classify what the different types of crises are. Nice. So you've got green ones, which means, it's something localized, something you can deal with, you can handle it with your team. You don't need to bring in other people. The ones that are orange or yellow, those are larger potential risk. It's not quite as localized. It might be picking up some social momentum. It has a chance to become a big thing. And once you hit something that's red, that's when the CEO has to be involved. Right. And when I first put together this system, that was if there was, injury or, God forbid, a death. If there was PII involved, because we were a big software company, if a bunch of people's public information was out there, or number three, if it had a real possibility of impacting our business critically. Okay. But when we classified those things, like you said, it gave people a structure. So when something started happening, we can say, no, this is a green one. We're okay. Everybody go, all right. And they go back to their business. Right. But until they had that structure, they didn't know. They didn't know if they had to get involved.
Yeah. Wow. Great idea. And I bet that made things go a lot more efficient. But I wanted to ask you one other thing too. Yeah. I got some other follow-up questions, and then Tony, we'll let you jump in too if you got something. But I wanted to mention, so you've also worked for some other incredible companies. So this is years of experience, right, in the making to help develop this. And you said, talking about a CEO of a software company, you got to work for another CEO at another company. Are you able to share a little bit about that?
I can talk about that now.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And so early in my career, I worked at Apple. Oh. And this is actually how I ended up in education.
When they were in the garage in Menlo Park.
Not quite there. A couple years after
Just messing with you.
Yeah. And so I got to work with Steve Jobs a bit.
Nice.
Which was amazing and frightening at the same time. But there was a few things I got to see where he really was that good. One of the stories is, it was dealing with when there was the antitrust going on with Microsoft. And we didn't want there to be a settlement. So, we were making a statement we were going to be putting out. And I wrote the statement, Took me about an hour to get it right and everything. Send it over to him. I'm sitting in the office next to my boss, Katie, and literally it comes back from Steve just in 2 minutes.
Wow.
And had changed one word. And the thing is that, we'd written a statement about, we at Apple are surprised that Microsoft would be rewarded for their anti-competitive behavior by being able to take over a new market.
Mm-hmm.
And Steve changed one word from surprised to baffled. And it's one of those, like, it pops up on the screen and we look at it and we go, baffled. Who says baffled?
Right.
And the thing is we put out that statement, every headline across the country, Apple baffled by Microsoft decision.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was like, wow, he is that good. That
one word.
One word. He just changed it.
Yeah.
Changed everything,
That's incredible. And that was a tough time, of course, for Microsoft, also for other companies, what happened there. And wow, to be able to have that experience to work alongside such an icon, though, too. I mean, you think about almost everybody has an iPhone.
I do
not everybody.
I do not.
I looked right over there when I said that.
Yeah. Android, sorry.
Yeah.
Samsung.
So what a what a place to get that kind of experience. So so I imagine you've probably taken all of this into consideration, all the years of experience, as you wrote this incredible book.
Yeah, one of the other things that it actually started at Apple with me was, it's easy to talk about things using a lot of words.
Yeah.
At Apple, it was all about using as few as possible.
Right.
Wow.
Like when I first started, I wrote up this big plan in this memo, and my boss comes back to me and she goes, if it's not in one screen, it's too long.
Right.
And because what that means is you haven't thought about it enough. You haven't, it's the saying, sorry I didn't have, more time to write you a shorter letter. It's because, it's easy to use a lot of words. It's hard to be effective and concise.
Yeah, less is definitely more. Good points. I just wanted to ask one more follow-up question, and then we got to find out where can people find your book and buy it. But the last question, and then we'll talk more about this with the final word. And I also just want to throw this out there too. We're going to do later on we'll do a one-on-one exclusive episode. So this is kind of like a sort of meeting to kind of get our audience excited about our one-on-one exclusive interview. It's going to come out at a later date. But I wanted to ask you too, so just a few key things that maybe our audience can take with us. We've got educators from all over the world that watch the show. Transparency it's critical, right? And in the middle of a crisis, what should people share? I mean, it's like they share what they know, right? You don't want to speed up and just give false information. That's right. And you want to make sure that you're maintaining trust, because you could have a post-crisis where, your organization doesn't have trust later. But just a few key things there, if you could share anything with our audience.
Yeah, I wanted to grab on one word you just used, and that's trust.
Yeah.
That's at the core of everything here. And during a crisis, people are looking for information. They're looking for trusted information. And if you're not the person who can be trusted, they're going to get it somewhere else. Right. Now, when a crisis is happening, isn't the first time you should be trying to be trusted. Right. You need to be trusted all the time. So when something happens, people are going to look at you and go, okay, they're good. Right. And the subtitle of the book is Trusted, Timely, and Accurate. And the first one can't be true if the second two aren't. Right. And that's how I like to think about it. To be trusted, number one is you have to have the word out there as soon as you can. Now, what that word might be is that we know something is happening. We don't know what it is yet, but we will tell you when we know. But you're saying that as opposed to saying, we think this is what's happening. Right. Because then if you're wrong, I don't know if I'm going to come back to you. Right. And then, so when something's happening, what I like to say is, number one is you need to say where you are, what you're doing, and then you tell people when you're going to give them information next. And then the last thing is, depending upon if you put it last, put it first, is you need to let the people know who's important. Right. And that's one of the other things that's in the book is, who do you serve? When something's going on, it feels like, especially like something's becoming a big crisis. You mentioned social media. Seems like everybody in the world's talking about you. Everybody's looking at you. I like to communicate from the inside out. Right. So, for example, when you're thinking about a school, who's first?
Students. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You start there. Make sure they have the right information.
Right.
Then it's their parents. It's not the person commenting, on your social media. Right. It's make sure that the people closest to you, the people who are most impacted, have the right information.
Yeah.
Make sure they're taken care of, and then move out from there.
I love everything you said.
Right?
Hey, I see why you want to have a one-on-one.
Yeah, see? Yeah.
I love everything you said because you're going with, again, making sure the stakeholders and our most precious commodity, our babies, that they know what's going on.
Yeah.
And parents, because first of all, it's more of them than it is everyone else. So you want to get that messaging across so people can have that sense of comfort and relieve that anxiety. And that transparency that you talked about.
It's critical.
Truly critical. And that one other thing you said was about gaining trust before the crisis happens. And so many people don't do that. You spend so much time when something happens trying to put a fire out. But if you maintain those relationships and you build that trust throughout the process, when something happens, it's like you built some foundation of trust. And so now you can say, hey, you know who I am. You can believe in what I'm saying. So I really appreciate everything you said.
Thank you.
Tony G, anything?
Yeah, I mean, it's a timely book, Crisis Communication. My background working in mental health, emotionally disturbed, program, and you're constantly in crisis. That's just the environment I learned to be comfortable in. What I learned was so much you would have such a disconnect at times because, number one, I was the only teacher, working with this group. And so after a while, you start to learn. It's survival, really. But back to this book, this would be like a great book for educators in special education to understand, because what happens is teachers, staff, it doesn't matter what title, they don't quite get all of it, right? And so you lose, again, back to the AI, the prompts. Sure, you can read off a script. This is according to this. This is what we're going to do here and this and this. But there's the human element. And I love that you talked about, I heard you say empathy, a couple other words, compassion and
Grace.
And grace, right? My classroom, I put at top the word empathy. And I said that guys, this is how we're going to do it. And all that resonates with me, what you're saying. And then I got a cool Steve Jobs story too.
Oh, yes. We'd love to hear this.
So, and again, you can call it hearsay, but to me, the story was very, I took it as a good story, like, and positive. Although it's going to start off, Hold
on. Did you run into him at the bathroom at that restaurant?
No. That was
with him and the
Governor Jerry Brown.
Sorry, wrong person.
I run into a lot of people in the bathroom. It's kind of weird. It's a gift.
I don't want to go in that bathroom.
Chow mein, right? It was chow mein.
Okay. So back to Steve Jobs. I used to work at Starbucks, and we were chit-chatting, and I don't know how we started talking about Steve Jobs. This is so many years ago. And because of the movie, and with every figure that's such a large figure in life, you're polarized, right? Good or bad, no matter what, you're either a fan or not a fan, right? So to me, I really like the story because at first it lines up with, oh, of course, and then it surprises you. So I guess Steve went in and his drink wasn't made correctly, and he really expressed that to the my buddy, and he took off, and then he said, but he came back and apologized. He gave him and $100.
Sound familiar?
Dude, that's so cool. Like, I'm sorry, I have so many bosses that I've gone through. I'm almost 50 now, right?
Yeah.
And they know they don't get it right every time. As bosses, we don't always get it right. Or leaders, principals, whatever. But to have the grace to come back to a barista, hey, I got it wrong, man. By the way, here you go. And,
I'm thinking about him coming back.
He did.
And but the part about not getting it right, there's something that we said on our team at Apple was the expectation was perfection.
Yes.
That was what everything you did there, it was expected to be perfect.
Right.
Which I got to tell you, that can wear you down a little bit when every single thing always has to be perfect. It sets a high bar for the rest of your career.
Right.
Wherever else you go, you're not quite perfect. But and the thing is, I've learned you can't try and be perfect all the time.
Right.
And a lot of people I worked with at Apple burnt out. I mean, I was only there for 3 years, and that made a huge impact on me during that time. I knew I couldn't carry that for 25 years.
It's the whole shooting star thing. It's like, do you go for perfection and shoot like a burning star, but how can you maintain that? Right?
Yeah.
So you only have a short window.
Because you're going to burn out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what? You need that empathy sign in every corporation. Empathy, guys.
You know,
You
so
can make millions. And
I've
be
taken
cool.
that to another place now. There's a book by Adam Savage who did the Mythbusters,
Okay.
and in the book he talks about how perfect is the enemy of done.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just need to go, okay, that's done.
Right.
It's not gonna be perfect. Let's move on.
Right. It's like my dissertation, right? You know,
That's done.
My coach, he said, you know what's a great dissertation? I said, what? He said, a finished one. He said,
done
as long as it's
yeah,
done,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because we can have these aspirations to shoot for a mark, and when you hit that mark, does it make you any better or worse? But if you can complete it, and then you can move on and you can do something with it,
Yeah.
because that's the impact.
Oh, yeah.
What do you do with what you have created?
Yeah.
That's what I think would ever go a lot further than just, I need to make it better. Well, let's see where this works.
We got to get ready to move on because we got some other segments we really want to get to. But we could spend all day talking to you, and so I'm glad we will get that chance to. But I just want to mention too, real fast. When you reached out, he kind of was teasing me because he sent me parts of the book, and I looked, and I'm like, oh, I want to read the whole thing.
Yeah.
And that was really exciting. And so thank you for reaching out about your book and allowing us to have you on the show. Yes, where can you get the book? That's the next thing that I wanted to ask. Where can our audiences pick up your book?
It's available on Amazon. You can get a link there easy, joshmorganauthor.com.
Okay. Amazon,
Stocking
40%.
stuffers, guys.
40% Amazon.
There you go.
Available as an ebook. You can have it printed out, all the
Nice.
fun things.
Nice.
All right. Well, we have news from around the world. We've got some interesting topics. I'm excited about our next set of segments today. And so the bell's about to ring, so let's get started. Okay, so the topic here is the next crisis coming in the next 5 years. Are schools prepared? What might this next crisis look like? And so that's our headline. And so let's look at what's kind of going on, over the next 5 years. We're not really just guessing here. There's statistics, there's data to kind of back this up. That there's trends that are already showing up in national reports regarding some crises that are actually hitting K through 12 schools, higher ed as well. First, cybersecurity. Overall, when it comes to cybersecurity, there's a lot of things happening. It's hitting schools harder than ever. A major 2025 report from Sophos and the Center for Internet Security revealed 82% of K through 12 schools actually experienced a cybersecurity incident between July 2023 and December 2024. That includes ransomware, phishing. That also includes full network shutdowns. And then there have been lots of other reports as well that, this has happened. Now, I wanted to talk to you guys about this too, because I was just recently speaking with someone, and they mentioned that even community colleges are experiencing some of these attacks with bots enrolling in classes. And I had to look it up. I was talking to somebody about it. So I looked it up, and I found lots of reports on it, and I was surprised to find how common it is. Maybe you've heard about some of this. Apparently, you have these bots that are enrolling in online classes.
What's a bot?
Well, these bots are it's a good question. These bots are basically programs or codes that are written that allow. At first, it was harmless. Some computer majors, students who wanted to enroll in their classes, maybe wrote up some software to be able to easily enroll in their classes. That's a great thing, right? compare that to, the process years ago where, pre-computer, you maybe had to take a registration form and go down and do that. But these bots, they're automated, and big, really bad actors are using them to register for classes. And so these professors are all excited. They're getting their rosters and it's full. Problem is the majority of it is actually bots and not real students.
Fake people.
Wow.
Fake people, exactly. And here's the thing.
And
These
this is
bots,
a prank? Or
no,
what's the deal
what
here?
they're doing. What they're doing is they're actually collecting financial aid. But here's the thing: they're even turning in work.
Yeah.
They're turning in these
Because
bots.
you gotta keep going to a certain point in order to keep that financial aid going.
Yep. So these poor professors are trying to figure out: is this a student for real, or is this a bot in the class? And there's telltale signs that they try to look for, the way some of the work is submitted. But what an interesting thing, and what a time to be in. And so looking at these different crises that could happen, I wanted to ask you guys some questions. And our schools and colleges really prepared for the next 5 years based on some of these things. There's also, with AI, you have deep fakes as well. There is bullying and stuff that happens too on campuses. And so speaking of these, these are part of those crises that can sometimes happen. This also does happen, by the way, sometimes to banks, casinos, places that have, large sums of money. And a lot of times, working with PR firms, they may not go public with, hey, we had this attack. Right. Sometimes I hope they're not paying these bad actors. Who knows if they are, but that way they can get back access to their sites and their stuff. So I wanted to just kind of start over here with Josh, and then we'll let everybody jump in, of course. Based on everything we just shared, cyber attacks, those deep fakes, of course, ransomware, what do you see as the single biggest crisis schools could face? And are they prepared to deal with this? I mean, and have you heard about these bots, by the way?
I've heard about them. I've lived it. I've been there. So I was at a California community college for 5 years, running communications and marketing there. We dealt with all of these things.
Maybe some stuff you can't talk about.
Actually, no, I can talk about it all. It's
Okay,
fine.
good.
But actually, so number one is we had 2 cyber attacks, one with ransomware. The other one was just completely shut us down. Learned a lot about that. And actually, there's a lesson in the book that's from that one. And you mentioned about how some people try and cover things up. Like I worked at a PR firm for a long time. And that, like, a lot of our planning and our recommendations and guidance we gave to people was don't say exactly what happened.
Because you don't want to encourage more of it.
Exactly. You don't want to.
You want to give them a blueprint.
You don't, you don't want to look bad. You don't want to do all these things. But so when I'm going to say this, I was at Sierra College. I mean, it's all in the news. You can look it up. It's not like I'm talking out of school here. And we were attacked by ransomware. It was during finals. Pretty brutal. And we're all on this call, and I'm going through what I'm going to say the next day. I'm going to say, like, we think this is, or that there's been a disruption, and we're working on it, and we hope to have systems back up soon. And our superintendent president goes, okay, so everyone, we know this is ransomware. We know it was an attack. Why don't we say that? And here's the thing. We all looked around, well, why don't we?
Right.
And so that's what we said. And the thing is that up until that point, everybody was mad at us because our computer systems were down during finals and it was making it hard for students. The next day when we said that we were attacked by somebody who was trying to steal money from a community college, all of a sudden they're the villain.
Right.
Yeah.
We're the hero. We're just trying to help, people learn.
Right.
And these other people are attacking us.
Right.
And that moment for me, it shifted how I think about communicating during crises and things. This idea is like, who's the hero in the story? Right. And usually it's going to be you, but we hadn't thought to set ourselves up that way.
But going back to what you talked about in your book, that transparency.
Yeah.
Why not just be transparent with it? And you tell your stakeholders, your students, that, hey, we are under attack. So because people are looking at a narrative, like what narrative can we create out of all of this chaos that's going. But now you've defined it, anxiety is lowered, and people now know, okay, they know what's going on, so they will try to handle it.
Yeah, all of a sudden they weren't mad at us anymore.
Right.
They're all like, wow.
I guess the $1 million question is how long do you wait before it's not a good idea?
It was the moment when he said, we're all sure this is what it was.
Right.
You know, because if we weren't positive, I mean, we were already talking to the FBI at that point. We knew exactly what was going on.
And are they able to catch these people? I mean, are they able to track them down? And never mind. Yeah.
Now, what I can tell you, this one I can't tell you everything.
Yeah.
When we were working with, let's say, a federal law enforcement agency, they knew the time zone these people were in the world.
Fair enough. Okay.
There was a cottage industry in a region that what they did was they attacked schools in the United States with ransomware.
Wow.
That's
I wanted to
what they
ask Dr. Rogers too, and I want to get you guys in on this too, ask you some questions. I mean, K through 12 schools, do you think we're prepared for this?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
You know, when you look at funding and the way the funding is distributed throughout the school system, there is barely enough to keep us going with curriculum, programming, multi-tiered systems of support, and people. We do not have more money to put a hub that's solo to just focus on intelligence and automation. And so with AI, you know, comes technology and all of these things fast-paced. Now we're dealing with, okay, are we able to keep up with how to monitor that piece of it? Because you're going to need a totally separate IT department to just focus on that. And so I was thinking about, when you were speaking about those attacks, like voting, you know, when voting, how we have all of these fake people or bots for both voting. So it just becomes difficult. So schools are not prepared at all.
Yeah, great point right there. And then Dr. Rogers, thank you for commenting at home. He kind of was following up on what you said, and he had mentioned that, Dr. Rob, he mentioned that it is hard because, you know, you don't necessarily, everything's already budgeted for, right?
Yeah.
And those unexpected things, since they're not necessarily budgeted for, it can wreak havoc in a district. So thank you for your comment. And keep the comments coming. You're definitely a part of the conversation at home too. But
one last thing with that,
yeah.
you know, so when you look at schools, we are so reactive and not proactive, and that would be another example of if you look at having that, how do you justify how much do you spend to put on that piece of it? And it's hard to determine that, because is it something that you can justify? Because if you do that, you're taking away from students.
Wow.
You know? So it's just hard. It's just very difficult.
Well, and you know, you spend the money and then you don't use it. You look back at the year and say, could we have used that some other way?
Absolutely.
It's not important until it is.
Right. And then the kids right now, again, we have all low test scores, low performance, low graduation rates, all of these different things. So it's just difficult.
And these are serious threats too that can really, again, wreak havoc on the systems. The thing is, too, and I'm going to get over here to you next, but, you know, think about, like, you know, as a site administrator, we would write these comprehensive school safety plans. We have a safety plan that's over 100 pages on how to address everything from, you know, a chemical spill to a bee swarm to, you know, you name it. But something like this it's very serious as well. So should there be some kind of comprehensive safety plan related to cybersecurity, to deepfakes, maybe to the social media bullying, to this kind of stuff?
I think so, but it's just difficult, because when you understand, you have to change mentality of people and the way we look at automation, pardon me, and intelligence. We can't just dump a whole bunch of money into it, like we talked about. We're taking away from students. We're taking away from the very thing that we're supposed to be protecting. So it's just hard to justify it. So until there's more data, and more research done to say, yes, this is why we could do it, or the government or other entities come in and say we need to offer assistance in this area. And then the equity issue. How do you fund all schools to do that? Do the schools who are more affluent get more money to do it, and then the schools who are more in the poverty zones, do they not have it? And so I think it may even widen the gap even more. So it's just very difficult. So, but we need to do it, but just how?
I see your point. And here's the other thing too. It's like another plan, you know, I mean, we're so site administrators are so busy, and I could see, you know, who would write the plan and,
exactly.
and
a separate department would be needed. And with a separate department, how do you justify spending that money for that?
Good point right there. Tony G, I wanted to get you in on this too. You know, you've seen teaching evolve over the years. I mean, you know, now you get to kind of sit back and watch, and you get to see the
stressful stuff.
you get to see the chaos from a comedic distance, right?
Yes.
Real quick, how big of a impact do you think these deep fakes, AI bullying, and viral rumors, like how big of an impact do you think they could have on students compared to when, you know, you were younger or in school or in the classroom?
It sounds real scary at face value with this kind of stuff, but what I've seen, you know, knowing my kids for, you know, so long, is they adapt so much better than we are with technology in a lot of ways. Not saying every way, but a lot of ways. And so they're not going to fall for the deep, you know, we're talking about that eventually, that bully stuff, like kids figure it out. But I mean, on other issues, you know, where is AI getting in the way? It's funny you guys were talking about that. I just got a story. I was out in Berkeley doing a show, and I heard these college kids talking, and they were going on and on about AI. Like, oh, my professor hates AI, you know. And I guess the kids were saying, not to me, I just overheard, you know, and they're talking about how they would put their curriculum, their stuff, their notes all on their site, and because it's property of the school, and then AI companies are buying this. And I thought, that's insane. Yeah. You know, where's intellectual property value, you know? So I don't think nobody's ready for AI. Yeah. We're on the fly, and this is where you just got to be on the fly a little bit more in your life. You can't go off of, this has always been like this, because it's pretty crazy. Yeah. Yeah. Got to adapt. Good point right there. We got about 15 minutes left, a little less than that. So we do got to move on. And gosh, again, I could just talk about these topics all day. It's tough to move on. But we've got an interesting segment, news segment too. So one of the titles here that we have for this segment is Warning for 2026 is a storm coming for U.S. colleges. So there's a report that came out from Fitch Ratings, and warns that 2026 could be a rough year for U.S. colleges and universities, forecasting deteriorating outlook for the higher education sector. We talked a little bit last week about people's perceptions of, you know, college these days. According to the report, a combination of factors is putting major financial strain on institutions. I mean, and we see this, right? We see this in the media too, regarding federal funding support, growing uncertainty around state funding, also increased operating costs, fewer prospective students enrolling, so declining enrollment. Because of these pressures, Fitch predicts that more colleges and universities may resort to merging, restructuring, or even shutting down entirely in the coming year. And I just was talking to somebody last weekend about this, and I'm hoping to get them on the show too, an admissions director at a university, possibly in January, to talk more about this. We want to follow up on it. But, you know, folks, you know, if you're connected to a district anywhere in America, a college district, I mean, this one, it can hit close to home. I wanted to go, you know, right over here, and then after that, we will get to the rest of the panel. Josh, you know, given your background in communication and crisis planning, how should institutions start preparing now if they suspect trouble ahead? And I mean, you're at an institution that's incredible, of course, but anyway, you're probably not seeing this stuff.
I'm starting this one with, this is me talking just personally on this one.
You're not representing anybody.
I am not representing anyone. This goes to something that actually one of my mentors early on taught me. So I'm going to go to a little short story here, if that's okay. So there was a regional grocery store chain that had been hacked, like at their POS terminals and everything. About 6 million customer records gone. And we go in this boardroom. It's me and it's Christy Black Davis, and their board's in there. The CEO, he says, we have a communications problem. And she goes, no, let me stop you. You have a problem.
Yeah.
You need to fix the problem. Then we can talk about how we're going to communicate about it. And that like set me up for kind of a way for thinking. And that's like you just said about this situation that's coming up. It's not a communications problem. It's a problem for higher education. So what are the universities going to do? Are they going to plan for, all right, we're going to have 20% fewer students in 5 years. Are they planning for that right now? Or are they kind of going, well, we'll just talk about it. And the thing is that if things are going to be different, you need to fix the problem, not just figure out how you're going to talk about it. So that's like, it's me as a communications guy. I always think, oh yeah, communications is important, but also you just got to make sure you're addressing
such a good point
and working on your operations to make sure that if there's going to be fewer students, are you going to be spending less money then? Are you setting yourself up to be spending less money? Or are you just,
because sometimes that may be the knee-jerk reaction focus is, okay, how are we going to respond to this versus like how are we going to plan for it, right? Long term. And, you know, who knows what's going to happen? I mean, it's the thing is too, I mean, there could be economic uncertainty potentially. Sometimes when that happens, we do see increasing enrollment, right? As people lose their jobs and they, you know, unfortunately, you know, go back. And so who knows what's the future is going to hold.
I think prices are, tuition is going to have to come down. I think it's almost like a housing bubble pop. I just talked about jokingly, you know, we've got kids talking about, you know, their professors, intellectual property, and all these things translate to, oh, well, kids can learn now off of AI better than they can go into college. Who wants to wake up, do all this stuff when you can just learn, right? And I see that. Plus, again, college is expensive.
Right.
I'm still paying for my school loans. So you add all these variables into the equation. That's econ, supply demand. It's just going to bring prices down.
Yeah, and then we got to run here in a little bit, but I wanted to get to Dr. Rogers too. I want to include you on this. You know, do you think that this marks a turning point in education in terms of higher ed? Also, I mean, imagine like I could imagine there's already a lot of online classes being offered. I imagine those kinds of classes may be offered even more because that could be a way to kind of cut costs. But kind of looking at that, you think this might be a new normal?
Right.
Smaller campuses and
like what we talked about last week. You know, we're looking at the world is changing, and who wants to pay high debt or have high debt when you leave school, and when you have so many other job opportunities or employment opportunities going into business for yourself. We have trade schools. We have, you know, people learning different skills without requiring them to go to a 4-year and get 4-year of debt, right? And other countries, when other countries give you free or affordable, you know, college, it's just difficult to kind of, you know, wrap your brain around. Like, why does a 20-year-old, 22-year-old have all of this debt leaving college and then they go work at Starbucks? You know, it's hard to justify that. So I think we just need to reevaluate our priorities and ask, what can we do differently so we can become champions of stewards, of our students, and say, hey, we can provide healthcare, we can provide education at a different rate versus what we're currently doing because it's not working. You know, like you said, it's a turning of the century. It's not working. So we can find different ways to kind of help our students become educated and not have them go into debt like it is. So yeah, it's changing, and we can't go back. Yeah, such a good point. Josh, anything else you want to add to this before we move on? He's laughing. He has something good.
Well, I mean, I've got a lot of thoughts on that.
Yeah.
I mean, if you get me started on, you know, cost of college and everything associated with it, I can get rolling. Also, you know, I love to say, you know, I came from the community college system, and if you want to, number one, if you're enrolled full time in California, it's basically free. If you're paying for it, it's $46 a unit. Go to community college for 2 years in a CSU. Plan it the right way, you're out with a college degree for less than 20 grand.
Right.
You're going to make, depending upon, you know, which the models you look at, minimum a couple $100,000 up to $500,000 more in your life with a college degree. It's a great investment.
Yeah.
Just got to be smart about it.
And it's an investment that can't be taken away. When you invest in yourself and learning and all that, it's not like, you know, other investments where, you know, there's volatility in the stock market and things like that, and it's going to go up and down and ebb and flow. I mean, you invest in educating yourself, you're going to have that forever, the rest of your life.
I'm a recipient of it, so I totally believe in it. However, I have seen so many times where it's not beneficial. And I said before, HBCUs, for example, you don't just get a college degree. You get life experiences. You get an opportunity to change as a human being and grow up. So I think colleges can also look at what else can they add besides just a typical education, and what experiences they can add to a student's journey, so it could be worth that dollar versus just, hey, go take these classes and do that, and maybe help students not take a lot of classes that they say, oh, I want to change my major halfway through, and then they don't even use those classes anymore. So I just think we just need to retool and just reshape it.
And I love what you said last week, too. I hope you don't mind if I bring this up again, too. You talked about wraparound services sort of at in higher ed.
Right.
Some of these HBCUs, they kind of have that model.
Right.
What an incredible thing. And, when we look at, we talk a lot about dropout rates for K-12, but, my friends in higher ed, I hear it's a little bit, especially at the community college level can be, do you know what it is?
So, of the people who enroll at a community college with the intent to transfer, less than 20% of them transfer within 5 years.
80% are dropping out. I mean, that's
They're not getting there.
Yeah. Right. That's a huge majority of people. And I mean, who knows? They may find other jobs. There could be other things going on, but I mean, that is a big dropout rate. But if you did have those wraparound services, those kinds of supports, maybe a kid could make a difference.
Yeah, because life is different. Everyone had a lot of different issues that they didn't have earlier on, 50 years ago. So if school is still the same way it was 50 years ago, we have to really take a look and ask ourselves, why do we not take an examination of, ROI, return on investment? If we can do better and we can do things differently, but maybe involve those students who drop out and say, hey, what could we have done differently? And get their opinions about it, and looking at the government and saying, hey, the education department, hey, let's talk about this.
Then here's the thing we know. I mean, again, when you're investing in yourself, again, like I said, it is something that sticks with you versus, some people might be looking at the cost of college today and they may be saying, you know what, instead of going to educate myself, I could just get myself a A1 education, right?
Absolutely.
Right? Use A1.
Why take on AI when you got A1?
You caught
sauce?
that,
Yeah.
The Department of Education, A1, right?
Yeah. Did you hear about that?
I need to know more about the sauce.
It's an ongoing joke.
Yeah.
So there's a mistype. Steve wouldn't have liked this.
Yeah.
And they put A1, so it became a big thing, and now we have a good laugh. Plus, we love steak.
And then also one of our secretaries, who we won't mention, but very high up, in education, running a department, instead of saying AI, she mentioned A1 quite a bit. So we got some A1 sauce on the show here.
We're not going to say any names, but if you ever watch wrestling, you know who we talking about.
All right, we got to get ready to move on, guys. This has been a fun show. Hey, it's a thing here. It keeps us going.
Absolutely. Anticipation.
The gift that keeps on giving.
It's only 25 calories per
Oh, man. All right, so we got to get ready to move on. We're going to go to final word. Gentlemen, anybody who'd like to start us off with the final word segment?
Well, I'll take it. I'm going to use this gentleman's words. Again, any of the work that we do, educators, any of the work that we do out there, grace, compassion, empathy, and the humanity, we can't legislate anybody's heart. We have to make sure that whatever we put on paper has to be followed by intentionality. Something else you said that was very good. You said, we didn't realize the impact of all of these people from writing this document. Any document that we put together, it's going to affect a lot of people. So take that into consideration anytime a document is put together, because you never know whose life you're about to change. That's my word.
Thank you, Dr. Rogers. Well said, of course. And then we're going to come over here to Tony G.
I'm going to say something equally as important. Guys, listen. If you go to a nice steakhouse Okay. You order medium at the highest. You don't go medium well. You don't order well done.
You got it crying over here.
All right. At a nice steakhouse. Now,
Somebody get him some tissues.
if it's well done and you're in a place that's maybe not so high end, maybe it's low end steak. All right. Then by all means, well done. And guess what? You just bring a little A1 sauce and you put it right there.
Not to be confused with A1 education,
No.
which our students are getting. A1
Well,
education.
Let's just hope we got guys. We have ideas. Maybe we A1 in the cafeterias. I don't know. Let's try something.
All right. Good job. You almost got me crying too over here. It's so funny.
That was good. That
Hey,
was good.
future bit right here.
That was
Hey,
good.
let's do it.
That was good.
Hey,
Just
any
put that
shows
in your
coming
book.
up?
No, I'm getting ready for Christmas.
The holidays, yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, all of them. And I have family, and and plus I'm a comic, so I have comic friends that are doing stuff. So
right.
All right.
it's really cool. The comedian world, local or big, but it's so tight, So anyhow, but
All right. Well, Josh Morgan, sir, it's been a lot of fun. Final word segment, final closing message to our audience.
First, thank you for having me. Second, you're making me follow up Tony. That's not cool. Last thing I want to leave with, got to come back to my book. You got something going on. You need to be trusted, timely. You need to be accurate. First one can't be true if the second two aren't.
Right.
Keep that in mind.
Excellent.
Well said.
You want to show, this is the book right here too. Can we hold that up real quick for our camera? So incredible book right there. And, it's got your picture on the back. I
Nice.
love that. Very nice. Get this book, you guys. Where can they find it?
The holidays, my goodness, we're gonna see family.
This
We
could be
need
a good gift.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Stocking stuffer,
Yes.
joshmorganauthor.com, Kindle,
Want to hold it up?
Amazon, $4.99. It's there for you.
Nice.
What a deal. $4.99. I'm going to buy this for everybody.
That's cheaper than this A1 sauce.
Awesome. Hey, guys, it has been so much fun. And you know what? This is our last show of the year. Think about that. Wow. 2025. It's been fun. This is episode 15, and it has been an incredible year. Now, here's the thing. After this, we're going to go on a little bit of a break. We got a winter break. But here's the deal. You can follow us online. We're not done. We've got a special episode that's going to be coming out sometime next week. It's a PE episode, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And you might be seeing me do some athletic things that I really shouldn't be doing. So you're welcome in advance for that. Also, we have our episode coming out with Andre LeMay, who was a senior special agent for the California Department of Justice. And he's the owner of Bullseye K9, and he's an expert on school safety. We've got that episode coming out later on in the month as well. We've got a lot of great stuff. In January, when we return, we have some incredible guests lined up. I mean, we have authors. We've got a lot of great people that reach out all the time to be on the show, and it's going to be an incredible year next year. So we want to thank our viewers. We want to thank, of course, our senior education contributors for being on the show.
Thank you very much. Happy Kwanzaa, happy Merry Christmas, and happy Hanukkah.
Awesome. And then, Josh, thank you so much for reaching out and for being on the show. And we can't wait to feature an exclusive one-on-one episode with Josh later on. So thank you for being here.
Thank you very much. Looking forward to it.
All right. And to our audience, we appreciate you. We love you. Stay tuned. Follow us on social media. We've got an incredible week coming up next week, too. And we've got a holiday celebration. You'll get to be a part of it as we share on our social media with you what's happening. It's going to be
Follow
great.
me at TonyG.comedy on Insta, please.
And you'll see some of the good stuff from next
Oh,
week.
they're going to see a lot.
So it's going to be great. But we also want to thank our team in the back. Of course, thank you, RG, for the amazing graphics.
Look at that.
Well. Yes. And thank you to our team for decorating the studio. It's been incredible. Mike and Lynette, shout out. They did such a beautiful job here. We appreciate you. And thank you to our viewers at home for your comments, likes, and for sharing. Please share this episode.
Yes.
So,
I have one more shout out.
Yeah, go ahead.
You know, we want to give a special shout out to Girl Power back there who's controlling it and holding it down for us. Girl Power!
Yes.
Ladies' night in the studio.
All right. We went over, but that's okay. We are having fun. And in the back, they said thank you. All right. Good night, folks. Have a good night. We appreciate everything. We'll see you next time on the Education Talk Show with Jeremy Brooks.
Thank you.
Weekly recess. Bye-bye.